Good evening. Calling the July 8th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. My name is Sandy Griffiths. I'm the chairperson of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I will be presiding over the Commission's deliberations on hearing and action items this evening. The Planning and Zoning Commission sits in an advisory capacity to the Town Council. As such, the Commission reviews planning and zoning issues and forwards recommendations regarding these important issues to the Council. All members are appointed by Town Council and volunteer their time. This evening's proceedings will be conducted as follows. First, I will read the agenda, the public hearing item, into the record. Staff will then present the case and their recommendations to the Commission. The applicant will be invited to address the Commission and answer questions from the Commission. The floor will then be open to comments from the public regarding the hearing item. If you wish to speak during call to the public or on a public hearing item on tonight's agenda, please pre-register your name with Roxanne and/or Carmela the clerk prior to commencement of the meeting. When you are recognized by the clerk, please come to the podium and state your name and address. After all pre-registered speaker comments, the chair may call for any additional non-registered speakers wishing to speak come to the podium. The speaker will state their name for registration by the clerk at the podium and will begin their comment when directed by the chair. I ask that you direct your pertinent comments to the Commission through the chairperson, not to the applicant, staff, or individuals within the audience. A 3-minute time limit will be imposed. Please keep your comments brief and to the point. After public comment has been closed, the item will then return first to the applicant if needed, then to the Commission for comments and/or motion and vote. So, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Commissioner Rankin, would you please guide us? Thank you. Clerk Carmela, will you take roll call, please?
Chairperson Griffiths?
Here.
Vice Chairperson Evans?
Here.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Here.
Commissioner Rankin?
Here.
Commissioner Bourdon? Absent. Commissioner Laney? Commissioner Erb? Also absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, call to the public. At this time, any member of the public is allowed to address the Planning and Zoning Commission on any issue within the jurisdiction of the Commission, except for items scheduled for a public hearing at this meeting. The speaker may have up to 3 minutes to speak. Any persons wishing to address the Commission, again, must first register to speak. Pursuant to the Arizona Open Meeting Law, at the conclusion of call to the public, individual members of the Commission may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the Commission and may ask staff to review the matter or may ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda. However, members of the Commission shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. Carmela, do we have any public call to the public?
Yes, we have one. Bill Williams.
Chair Griffiths, other members of the commission, Bill Williams, bought my house on Taylor Drive in 2008. Proud member of this town's population. When Fain Signature Group's attorney spoke at the last Planning and Zoning Commission meeting in favor of rezoning for Lakeshore 650, there was discussion of 1,200 signatures on petitions in favor of the project, and that caused several of us to visit the town's website and the clerk's office and question why only 450 signatures on things that were not traditional petitions were showing on the town computer, and ask why our count for the total number of letters, not petitions, was showing a 2-to-1 ratio of opponents versus supporters.
Mr. Williams, excuse me. This is not an appropriate public hearing item for this evening. You have discussed this item multiple times. I would like for you to come into your soul for a public hearing comment, and you're welcome to talk about climate change, how great life is, but you will not be allowed to continue your public hearing comment on the signatures with the Fain and Lakeshore 50. That is inappropriate.
I thought
You
this
are
was called to the public.
welcome to take a seat or regroup with your call to the public.
Oh, so this isn't called to the public? Am I at the wrong time? I'm confused, because I've never spoken out on this at any meeting.
Sorry, Mr. Williams, that will not be a discussion at call to the public regarding Lakeshore 650 and all of the undertakings with undermining signatures. That
I'm
is
not
not
undermining
here.
signatures. This is all good news. How do you know what I'm going to say? This is good news.
Welcome to take a seat or change your call to the public.
Okay. Well, you just qualified yourself for an Attorney General complaint for violating the open meeting law.
Thank
You
you.
didn't follow your own rules.
Have a nice evening. Are there any announcements from the commission? Is there a motion to approve the June 10th, 2024 P&Z regular meeting minutes? Are there any changes? Have a motion for approval?
I'll move to approve the June 10th, 2024 P&Z meeting minutes.
Thank you, Vice Chair Evans. Do we have a second? Thank you, Commissioner Laney. We'll do a voice vote. All of those in favor? Aye. Any nay or abstain?
I needed to abstain. I wasn't here in that last meeting, and I was in Iceland and couldn't come here to vote.
We missed you. Public hearing items 7A, GPA 24-001, 5859 North Hill Drive duplex. Presenting this evening is Mr. Chris Norlock, Development Services Urban Planner 2, making the presentation.
Thank you, Chair and Commission. Like you said, this is a general plan amendment and zone map change for 5859 North Hill Drive. I'll be presenting on the general plan amendment and the zone map change all at once, but it will be a separate public hearing, separate vote for each of them, just so there's no confusion. PowerPoint. Thank you. So the parcel is located just west of Robert Road and north of Pecos Drive. The proposal is for a minor general plan amendment and zone map change to allow for a duplex on here. Currently, the red there is what it's designated as in our general plan 2035, which is regional commercial, and the proposal is to change it to medium high density, which is what all of the brown there is medium high density as well. The property was originally designated as residential and zoned R24, which would allow this use as a duplex. In 2007, the general plan was amended and the property was rezoned to what it currently is C3. The current zoning around it is some multifamily, a little bit of commercial. Currently, the only parcel that was rezoned to, only one parcel of those parcels that was rezoned to C3 is being utilized. Because as you can see, the majority of it is in the floodway and some in the floodplain. Luckily, the parcels we're talking about today are out of all of that, and so they are able to be built on. This is a conceptual site plan for this one. It has to be more towards the front instead of the back because of the slope. It slopes pretty heavy significantly on the rear side of it. This is just a conceptual elevation of what it would be. It would be a 2-story duplex with a single-car garage for each. We believe that this is kind of part of the missing middle of housing, and staff recommends approval of both the general plan amendment and the zone map change. And I will take any questions, and the applicant is here as well, if you have any questions for them.
Commission, do you have any questions of Mr. Norlock? Well, I do. So can the duplex be moved back at all to allow for more frontage and driveway ingress and egress?
Would you like to answer that one?
Hello, my name is Luis Pescador.
I'm sorry, I was speaking to the microphone.
My name is Luis Pescador, and we're the principals. It could, but an engineer would have to tell me how to move it back if it's possible, because there is a pretty far drop on, once you get into like 30, 40 feet into the property. It's almost unusable, but for this purpose, it probably, the building envelope, we can make it very tight and small. So it could be a possibility, but maybe you might get another 5 feet out of it, But you can do more parking on the left side where it says walkway, close to the 19 feet area. That could be additional parking right there, But I would say maybe 5 feet, 10 feet would be max for more frontage.
Have you thought about, I guess I should say welcome, Mr. Pescador. We're happy that you're doing this.
Yeah.
Have you thought about any other enlargements of the parking area, the driveway, maybe a hammerhead of sorts?
Yes, that could work, because all that area would have to be graded flat. So it's definitely, it'll work pretty easily. Also to the left, there's a steep drop there too. So it's going to take quite a bit of engineering. You have to do, foundation, retaining walls and all that. But yeah, towards the back, we're real restricted, the parcel.
Okay, but you are going to consider driveway, concrete access enlargement?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. Yeah, you got plenty of spots in there actually, in the front. So, yeah. I don't have a tape measure. I can't remember exactly how far you could actually maybe go back, to give you more frontage. But whatever the engineering says could be done, we will definitely, work with it.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Vice Chair Evans.
Not a question so much as a comment. I was very impressed with the package you put together. A lot of times large developers, have the resources to hire consultants and do some pretty comprehensive packages. But you certainly hit all the items, and I thank you for all the work and research that you put into it, and wish you luck with the project.
Any other questions for Mr. Norlock? I will now open the public hearing item for GPA 24-001. Clerk, do we have any public hearing items?
Yes, Bruce Reed.
I'm Bruce Reed, and I own Barefoot Bob's, and I own the industrial buildings that are attached right on the other side of Pecos over there. And my address over there is 8367 Pecos Drive. And I've got 2 of them industrial buildings, and there's 21,000 square feet of industrial buildings there. And I can't really support this. A duplex went in somehow. I don't know how. Woody didn't know how either, next to the copper pit where the copper pit used to be. And we've had the police called several times because of noise. And then there's trucks coming in and forklifts coming in and out and equipment. And it's all heavy duty. That whole area is all commercial and heavy duty industrial. Like we can do anything we want over there in the buildings because it's zoned that way. So all of a sudden, we back up residential stuff to that. It's gonna be an ongoing issue with the police department. They're gonna keep getting calls. There's a restaurant, drive-through restaurant right there, and they're gonna put that right next to it. So you're gonna have people going through the drive-through, you're gonna have people going up Pecos Drive, there's an irrigation company right down the street. They bring in semis, and they're unloading stuff. They even bought out Fuzzy's place down there, and that's all gonna be laid out with rock and trucks and semis, and I mean, that's really heavy-duty industrial area. So I don't know how that duplex did get in on Robert Road, but you can ask Woody about it if you guys have any questions. I don't know exactly how it got in and how it got built there, but it was an ongoing issue with the police department, and then it pretty much got solved with them. They're not going to respond to that situation anymore. The tenants did move out of that duplex. I've explained it to the owner that's trying to change the zoning. I expressed my feelings it probably needs to stay commercial. It needs to stay, we're going to plunk a residential duplex in the middle of heavy commercial. So that's how I feel. So I
Thank
can't
you.
support it.
You'll appreciate that. Mr. Norlock, would you please give further comment that these lots in that area are zoned both R24 and commercial?
Yeah, if you look at the slide I just pulled up, and everything pink there is R2.
You put it on our, there we go.
Yeah, so everything pink is already zoned for duplexes, including that's where that pink sliver there, right there on Robert Road, is where the duplex he's speaking of is at. That is R24.
And so several of the other lots on Hill Drive, they're also zoned residential R24 and commercial.
That's correct.
So it's just not an entire commercial area, sir. It's zoned for both. Absolutely.
So he's not showing the other side of Pecos, and it's just one street in between. He's not lighting up this other side of it. I have 6 parcels there. So Pecos Drive, you guys all live here, that road is on both sides, right and left, all the way down to the mini storage, all the way down the corner is all heavy industrial.
You're saying off of Pecos then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but he's not lighting up the other side to show all the commercial that's right there, and everything on the side he's showing is commercial. So he's trying to put a duplex in the middle, you know, with a road down the middle of it, and it's all commercial. So, I mean, he needs to show the other part of the parcel to you guys, I think, on the other side of all that, so you guys can see, you know, all that where it turns the corner there. So, because none of that is lit up on the screen. It's not giving you the full
Got it.
view of what's exactly happening on that street.
Thank you, sir, very
Yeah.
much. Commissioner Rankin?
Well, and I think I'm correct in saying all those properties all the way downhill that are R24 are also all floodplain, correct?
That's correct.
So they can't be built on at all.
At this moment, no, they cannot. And I will just add that he does plan on, Mr. Pescador does plan on adding a wall, a block wall on those properties, just for possible help with the noise. Sure.
Absolutely.
Those concerns he's speaking about, we're proposing to put a block wall separating, Pecos, dividing, the area. As far as going in and out, you got Hill Drive going that way to the residential side. And I spoke to all the neighbors, all the businesses across the street and all the way down west, and they're all in support of it. As far as heavy industrial, it's not heavy industrial. It's all like performance service businesses. You got pest control, you got landscape companies, you got, just companies like that, and they're all in support of it. So that's really not hurting us any kind of way. And if you look at the lots on his side of the street, they're PM, okay? You notice the size of those lots, how big they are? That's commercial lot. If you look at the lots that we're building on, they're all like 80 by 100 or 100 by 100. That was meant to be residential, So these lots are almost useless. That's why they sat there for 30 years empty while the rest of it got developed. You can't really build anything commercial that's feasible. They did a little bit right across the street from us, this transportation company, and he's all for it too, but what it is they have a small building, about 15 feet of a building, and then it drops. The land drops like 30 feet. So they use that back for parking, so it's very limited on what you actually can do. But as far as that business, a block wall would easily separate them from us. And I spoke with that other duplex behind us. And I asked him, I go, hey, how is it here? I went to go talk to him. And he says, it's fine. He goes, you can hear the music just a little bit, but no big deal. He goes, he's been there a year. And from what I know, he's still there. So that was like a month ago, right? We talked to him. So I think he's still there. There's another bar, music place down the street. I can't remember the name. Bob's or something like that. I don't remember the name. But I spoke with him, and I spoke with the residents across the street on Pecos. And they're all good, happy. They don't bug us. We don't bug them. It's not an issue. They, live together in harmony. It's not a, so, okay.
When you
Thank
talk about screening in a block wall for those lots,
Yeah.
you're looking at it going down Pecos, and then are you considering a block wall along the rear of both of those lots as well?
Yes, it'd be mainly in the corner one.
Right.
That would be block wall there, and on Pecos, going west. Yeah, that's where it would need it. For our purposes.
Perfect. Thank
Give
you,
them
sir.
harmony. Thank you.
Clerk, do we have any more public hearing items?
No, we do not, Chair.
Thank you. The public hearing.
I signed up to speak at the public call in opposition.
Sure, come to the podium, sir. Are you talking about this public hearing item?
Yes, ma'am.
State your name and address,
Yes.
please.
Michael Canfield. I am at 8301 East Pecos Drive. I'm literally right across the street from this gentleman's property. A little bit at a catty corner. Been back there since 1998. And thank you, Chair and Commissioner. And I'm with Ransom International. You may not know who Ransom Rest or Ransom International is. There's probably a dozen episodes of Mythbusters where our products are shown on Mythbusters. CSI, NCIS, you have seen popular shows like Forged in Fire,
So you're famous.
and our products are seen on Forged in Fire and stuff. And so, and we make the machine that the FBI, Homeland Security, ATF, and DOJ uses for forensic, ballistic testing, accuracy. No firearm goes into the service for the military or FBI or DOJ
I'd
without
like
a ransom
one.
rest test. So that's who we are. We've been back there since '98. We moved from Prescott, got a little too big for us, and we moved here to Prescott Valley. The company's been in business since the 60s. We're known as the international standard for accuracy testing machines. Just left, you see these bluish, the three other buildings to the left. I thought they were going to be here today. The Orkin guy, the owner, he said he was going to be here in opposition. I'm sorry he's not, so I guess you can't use that. But Ewing, they're across the street. Bruce mentioned a plumbing down the road, Ewing. That owner is Oscar Lopez. I got a signature here in opposition. My apologies. The letter I got was mainly for the 002. Obviously, this is 001. The properties are linked. The properties are linked, so we're kind of talking the same thing.
Second.
So, these are just business owners that are directly to the left. The one right to the left, the very first C3 on the left side of him, it's a rental property, but the guy who's occupying that on lease is Jose Aragon. I think it's Switch is his company. He's actually signed this in opposition as well. I got a signature here.
Why? What is the opposition factor?
We are against it to be rezoned. We want it to stay commercial.
Make a correction and correct me, Mr. Norlock. This is not a rezoning. It's already zoned for C3 and or R24.
To my understanding, Zoe, and I could be wrong, I'm not a zoning expert but to my understanding, I think it limits us building a duplex on that property at this moment. So what I'm standing in opposition of is it needing to stay commercial. I understand he said a wall and all that. That's fine. I'm just saying I'm in opposition of it going resident. I understand why the RS3 there on Robert, there's a duplex there. Hey, further up the road on, Robert is somewhat residential all the way down Robert. But as Bruce laid out, Pecos itself all the way down is pretty much, it's industrial. I'm right across the road. I got 4 tenants in my building, Quad City Heating and Cooling, you've all heard of, Performance Automotive, and then I have Jerry in there, he does woodworking. He's actually a privateer. He rents the place to do woodworking because he doesn't want to do it in his garage. It's rude to his neighbors to run planers and woodworking stuff. It's loud as heck. And we run a lot of heavy equipment up and down that road.
They're opposed because of, one more time.
We just want it to stay commercial. We do not necessarily want to see a residential, duplex that close to commercial. I am also an FFL, firearms, we're a manufacturer. We're just against it being residential.
Sure.
To do what you wish, but.
Mr. Norlock, please explain the C3 and R24.
So they're currently zone C3, and they're getting the general plan amendment and the zone map change in order to go to R24 to allow for the duplex. So they currently could not do a duplex in C3, just to clarify.
Thank you. Now I'll close the public hearing. Commission, are there further comments or questions? And do we have a motion in support of or denial of General Plan Amendment 24-001?
Thinking. When I drove, just a comment, twice when I drove by the site, including today, I did recognize that it was sort of impinging on commercial, which I don't like to see, except this is like 17,000 feet, not 17 acres. I saw it more as a marketing challenge to get people to move into an industrial or commercial type area versus a purely residential. I'm giving some thought to the comments by the commercial neighbors, and I'm a little undecided at this moment. But.
Do we have a motion in support of or denial of GPA 24-001? So there is no motion.
Well, should at least entertain a question, so I'll make a motion to support the general plan amendment, and we'll see where the vote falls out.
We have a motion in support of GPA 24-001 by Vice Chair Evans. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Rankin. Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner Rutherford,
Yes.
Commissioner Laney, Commissioner Rankin,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Evans,
Yes.
Chairperson Griffiths.
Yes. GPA 24-001 passes unanimously. I will now open the public hearing item for the zoning map change 24-001. Clerk, do we have any public comment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Anybody in the audience? I will close the public hearing for zoning map change 24-001. Commission, are there further comments and or questions? Do we have a motion in support of or denial of zoning map change 24-001?
I'll make the motion to approve zoning map change 24-001.
The motion is made by Commissioner Rankin. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Rutherford. Clerk, will you please call for the vote?
Commissioner Laney?
Laney?
Yes. Commissioner Laney?
Yes.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Rankin, excuse me.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Evans?
Yes.
Chairperson Griffiths?
Yes. Zoning map change 24-001 passes unanimously. Mr. Norlock, public hearing items 7C and D.
So this is a general plan amendment and a zone map change again for 5841 North Hill Drive. Just like we did on that one, I'll present both of them together, and there'll be a separate public hearing and vote for each, just like you did. Location map is just south of 5859 that we just spoke of, right on Pecos Drive. Like I said, the current designation is regional commercial and proposed to change to medium high density residential. The property was originally residential in zone R24, which would allow it. And then in 2007, general plan was amended and the property was rezoned to where it currently is at C3. This is the adjacent zoning once again that we looked out there for a little bit. And then the floodplain, like you saw already, it is out of the floodplain and floodway. And then this is just the other site plan right on Hill in Pecos. And then just the elevations again, and any questions I will answer.
Thank you, Mr. Norlock. Commission, any questions? Mr. Pescador, would you come up to, Chris, could you put up his floor plan again?
You're looking for?
Is that there?
The site plan?
Yes, please.
Yes, that's it right there.
Not on our screen.
Oh.
Perfect. So, Mr. Pescador, back to my other questions on the other property. Again, you're going to look at making more parking area or hammerheads for easier turn-ins, turn-outs.
Yes, this one could definitely move back quite a bit if we need to.
Okay.
That's not an issue. It was just a conceptual
Okay,
one
perfect.
to begin with. Yeah. But I know one thing, it's like that view is going to be tremendous on those properties because you're sitting way up there. It's like, you're going to have the whole valley. It's going to be beautiful. So,
Okay, thank you, sir.
okay, thank you.
I'll now open public hearing item for General Plan Amendment 24-002. Clerk, do we have any public comment?
Bruce Reed?
I don't know, I've already said kind of what I've said. I think it really needs to be evaluated. You guys need to really take a look at that over there and talk to Woody from the city, and you guys need to drive over there in your cars before this thing's changed and see what's going on over there. There's not a view like he's saying. Yeah, you could look over top of a flood zone, but you're not looking over top of, you're not looking into the city or anything. And the way it's faced there, it's basically 20 feet right off of Pecos Drive. I mean, you're right on top of heavy commercial there. So, and it's all the way up the road. I mean, I know you guys are trying to make decisions today. I don't know. I just can't support that. I don't know what else to say on it. I think it needs to be evaluated. I think you guys need to, talk to Woody from the city and talk to the police department to see how many complaints have been on that duplex that's there and how many times they've been there 40 or 50 times. So, I mean, this thing is going to be right on top of it. It's not even going to be separated from the copper pit, I mean, it's that copper pit there is, that other duplex is just on the other side of that, which you can see on the map. This is going to be right on top of that commercial. So, I mean, it's going to be an issue with the police. I mean, it's going to be an ongoing issue. It'll never go away.
I'm just curious, sir, what's the general nature of the police complaints been? Has it been?
Noise.
Like the
From,
residential people complaining about noise from the businesses?
yep. Yep, the duplex, you know, they were complaining about the copper pit because they were going through the drive-through and they got the radios on and then they're, you know, the speakers going to take orders and they're driving right around that whole thing. And that's only, the copper pit would be, well, it's gonna be a Mexican restaurant now, but that's only 46 feet away from the back door of that. I mean, so, and then you got the duplex on the other corner over there. You know, they called the police department and said it was like, you know, the music coming out of Bob's on a Friday night and the noise. You know, they were saying their pictures were falling off the walls. I mean, that's not the case. We all know that. I mean, that takes a military bomb or something to knock pictures off the walls. So it alerted the police right away. You know, they sat on that, and he'd get calls, and he couldn't determine that there was a loud stuff coming out of there. They kept calling and calling and calling and calling, and we did turn it down. We turned down the sound more. We run bands in there at Friday and Saturday nights. We run bands in there from 10 to 2 in the morning. So then people are getting in their cars and they're leaving and car doors are slamming. And I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on. And we use 8367 and 833 buildings for parking. So we use the front of that building and the back of that building. Sometimes it gets bad. I mean, sometimes there's enough cars where sometimes it ends up down Pecos Drive too. If we have a big pool tournament, in which we do, sometimes we have 200 or 300 cars over there. So it's just, I mean, if it gets built, you're gonna have a call, you're gonna have calls from the police. It's gonna be a nonstop police issue, police issue, police issue.
Unless it's not the type of people that move in next to an airport and complain about airplane noise, but. I don't know.
Exactly, that's a great terminology you just said. You move next to an airport, you're gonna come, yeah, I get it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments, sir.
You're very welcome.
Any other call to comment, Carmela? Public comment?
No, Chair. Okay. I have you down for the action. Okay. Did you want to still speak on the action item 8A, or were you supposed to be on 7? Okay, come on up. I'll take you off. That's okay. I'll take you off.
All right, Mike Canfield again. The way this is laid out, I'm literally to the right side of Pecos. Right as I'm looking, I'm literally across from Pecos. The rear of this is business. The front of that is business. The right of that is business. I have 3 parcels to the right of that. You know, over 10,000 square foot of manufacturing space. We pull semis in and out of their bar stock. They're literally surrounded by business. Commercial, industrial, if that answers the question of what you're doing to Pecos here. We understand it's a small parcel, but it's still business. It's limited commercial. I can't necessarily get something in the middle of Presque Valley and change it to commercial. It typically don't work. You know, if you want to take something in the middle of what I would consider industrial, and Pecos was built by Jim Adams years ago. We built those buildings, the 2 buildings he's occupying and me. That's the reason 3-phase power goes down on Pecos. It's the reason Pecos, before Robert even extended, those buildings were built. It goes back that far. And I understand it hadn't been occupied for whatever reason. I suppose you have a nice view out the back of the wash, but point is it's business, business, business all the way around them. It's all commercial. And we're industrial, we're a machine shop. Right literally across is Quad City Heating and Cooling, which I got over 5-6 signatures. I'd love to submit it if it's submissible. I mean, we're talking anything from E-Wing to the one right in front, that business. I got a signature, the one who's occupying that, he's against it.
Feel that it should be commercial.
Yeah, they all feel it should stay commercial.
You're welcome to turn those papers into the clerk, please.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, and that's all I have to say.
We appreciate your comments. I'll close the public hearing on GPA 24-002. Commission, are there further comments and questions, or do we have a motion in support of and/or a denial of GPA 24-002?
Madam Chairman,
Yes,
The
Commissioner
idea
Rutherford.
of spot zoning always concerns me. This is a difficult property. If it were appropriate for its zoned use, it would have been developed by now, surely. On the other hand, is it appropriate for living under the circumstances? It's a very difficult property. And whatever we do, there are going to be reasons for it being wrong, and there are reasons for it being right. So we're just going to have to fish or cut bait and decide which it's going to be.
Totally agree with you. Would you like to make a motion? In support of or denial?
Frankly, I'd like more time to study the situation. Maybe the rest of you are ready to vote. I'm not. I voted on the first lot. We are not the last word, fortunately. Since we're not the last word, let's just clear the decks, and I move it be approved.
GPA 24-002.
I do.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Rankin. Clerk, please call the vote.
Vice Chairperson Evans?
Yes.
Commissioner Laney?
I would like to abstain.
You need to state your reason why, please.
I think we need to study it more.
Thank you.
I would like it postponed if that.
Commissioner Rankin?
Yes.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Chairperson Griffiths?
Yes. Thank you. It passes 4 in support of and 1 of an abstention. Let's go with the, sure, absolutely, come up, sir.
I did another report, I don't know if he showed it to you guys or not, but what's going on in the whole neighborhood along Laredo. It's flood area, but there's some areas that are being developed as duplexes. They're doing quite a bit of work in the foundation, you know, but they are being built. There's 3 of them right now. And right across the street, it's all commercial, you know, so they're moving it into those areas also, and it was developed that way. Right across the street, 20 feet away, you got, you know, commercial. Same thing, more, that's happening also more to the left on Pecos. It curves around. Same thing's going on, the same developments. So they are, you know, it's just like 69, Highway 69. If you go to Highway 69, you got all commercial in the front. You go right behind the next street, it's all residential, intermixed with each other. There's really not much difference, you know, between that and that area. So, you know, they do live in harmony, you know, with each other. And I think there's a school going up a little bit to the north. So, you know, that does help all that, you know, the residents that's needed, you know, the housing. So
Thank you.
that's something to consider. Okay.
I'll now open the public hearing for zoning map change 24-002. Clerk, do we have any public comment?
No, Chair, we do not.
I'll close the public hearing. Commission, are there further comments or questions and/or a motion in support of or denial of zoning map change 24-002?
I'll make a motion in support of zoning map change 24-002.
Thank you, Vice Chair Evans. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Rankin. Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Laney?
Yes.
Commissioner Rankin? Vice Chairperson Evans?
Yes.
Chairperson Griffiths?
Yes. Zoning map change 24-002 passes unanimously. Before we go on to our action item, I do want to thank our public speakers for your concern and your input. It doesn't fall on deaf ears. And like Commissioner Rutherford said, this is a difficult one. We are in a need of housing. I think that these folks moving in are probably going to love your place and be over there. I know. But anyway, thank you. I just want you to know your comments are valued. Same with you, sir.
And for what it's worth, it's a great pool hall.
It is. I've been there. Item 8A, action item, PDP 24-003, Copper Butte Properties Metal Building, consideration and possible action. Staff making the presentation is Mr. Chris Norlock, Development Services Urban Planner 1.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, Commission. Like you said, this is a preliminary development plan for Copper Butte Properties at 628 South Coldwater Lane. This parcel is currently zoned M1 PAD. The reason we're here today is because it is in a PAD. If they weren't in a PAD, they could go basically straight to building permits. The use is allowed by right. It is located in the Antelope Meadows Commercial Center. The proposal is for a new building that will be used as an office and a garage space. The access will be from the southern parcel off of Coldwater Lane, and they already have an access easement from the southern parcel to the northern parcel. They own both properties. They're proposing a metal building, and these are the elevations of it with the garage door on the front and left side. The total square footage of the building will be about 3,600 square feet, with the office being 1,000 square feet, the garage being 1,800 square feet, and the storage area just under 900 square feet. Staff recommends approval of preliminary development plan 24-003. The applicants are here for questions, and if they want to present as well, they're welcome to. But if you have any questions for me, I'm here to answer them as well.
Thank you, Mr. Norlock. Commission, are there any questions and comments for Mr. Norlock? I have a couple. So access into the property is off of Coldwater Lane, and then is it turning into this like a all-weather existing gravel drive? Is that the entrance then into the property and over to the new building?
Yeah, it will have to be all-weather surfaced and CAFMA approved.
Okay, because it doesn't say how wide it is. That was one of my questions, if CAFMA approved the width.
CAFMA has looked at it. They haven't given me any comments. So I assume probably when building permits come in, they'll look exactly at the width and give comments on that. But at this moment, I don't have any comments from CAFMA on the width, so I can't speak to whether they approve it or not, unfortunately.
I would like to ask that you follow up with them for that information prior to this going to council, please.
Will do.
And then I have, my other questions are for the applicant when he comes up. Commissioner Laney, do you have any questions for Mr. Norlock? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sarah Roskoff, and I am the owner of Copper Butte Homes, and I will be building the building.
Thank you. Welcome to our community.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to all of you for everything that you guys do.
So I'm a little confused. Your name, Miss Roth?
Roskoff.
Roskoff.
Yeah. Yes.
So on our plan and in the package, you have mobile mini storage units.
Mm-hmm.
Are they moving in and out, or what is the purpose?
No, they're just little sheds, so we can keep pumps in them. My parents actually own Dewey Drilling and Pump, and my father's here with me today, and my mother. They're part of your commission. They're just to store things for now because we don't have a building up yet. They're just little tough sheds, the little sheds.
So you know then the appropriate material to store in there, no flammables, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
In the package, there was mention that you were going to put up screening, it sounded like, around the mobile mini storage units.
No.
No
We will not.
screening?
No.
Any screening on the property at all?
There is a metal wall that goes all the way around the property. If you can go to the actual, that one, yeah. If you can see, there's a roadway going in right there, but there is a metal fence that goes all the way around the property.
Okay.
But it does not split the two. And we do own both of the properties.
Great. It says, I have one more question.
Yes?
The drive is the all-weather surface. What's the rest of the ground cover going to be on the property? Just DG?
We're going to put asphalt.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to put asphalt in front of the buildings, and we're also thinking we're going to put asphalt as the drives, and it will be a 25-foot.
So then you're going to asphalt where the parking places are as well?
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Commission, any other questions?
Just to clarify, you actually have two entrances in, the main road that loops around through the lower lot, and then another road that comes in next to the small parcels.
Well, what we did is I had a surveyor over there, and he did put an easement in, just for the sake of this. There is an easement in the front. There is only one entrance into the properties.
Well, into the property, but the roadway, it looks like it comes in two locations to the building.
Yes, because we will be, for further planning, we may be putting another building on the first property. So we kind of wanted to have two accesses just in case. And a road that kind of went to another building if we did decide to put another building on the second property.
Commission, any other questions of the applicant? Clerk, do we have any public comment
No, we
on
do
this
not, Chair.
item?
No, Chair.
Thank you. Commission, if there are no further comments, do we have a motion in support of or denial of PDP 24-003?
I'll make a motion to approve PDP 24-003, Copper Butte Properties Metal Development with the condition that's listed.
Thank you. Commissioner Rankin, do we have a second? Thank you, Commissioner Laney. Clerk, please call for the vote.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Rankin?
Yes.
Commissioner Laney?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Evans?
Yes.
Chairperson Griffiths?
Yes. It passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
One more agenda item, number 9, adjournment. Do we have a motion?
Move we adjourn.
Do we have a second? Second. Thank you. All those in favor by voice? Aye. Thank you. Thank you.